Let us get us on the air. Michael, it is amazing. It is 10:10.
That can't be right.
10:10 on a button.
Wow. Notify the news director, WINS.
10:10 wins New York.
Give us 22
10:10 on the
minutes.
button, baby.
And we'll give you the world.
Yes. Or it could be Alan Freed hitting the phone book, too. Bop, bop, bop.
Who else was on that station that played rock and roll music besides Freed? I don't know
Who else was on it? Scott Muni, Murray DeKay, Cousin Brucey for a while. Was it not Jocko? Not Jazzbo, but maybe it was Jocko.
Roscoe.
Roscoe, thank you. I knew it was somebody with an O.
Hey, mommy-o, hey, daddy-o.
Hey, mommy-o, hey, daddy-o, it's Roscoe. Spinning the platters at midnight for you. Sometimes I get more of a charge just talking about old radio stuff than.
Well, there's what's the word for it? There's some magic that goes along with a personality willing to call you hey mommy-o and hey daddy-o.
Hey mommy-o, hey daddy. You got it, boss.
Splitting the scene at the Lucky 13, saying, "Ooh, look at you, look at you."
That was, there was, I've been, we're doing a KUSF reunion in July. So a bunch of people are going to get together from KUSF and reunion.
Not be on the air.
Not be on the air. Just gonna go down to. We got a whole weekend full of stuff scheduled, and so it's turning out to be much more the younger kids that were there after I left. From the time I left until it became
KDFC.
So, but there was one guy that I really been trying to find, and we worked with him at the city. His name at the city was Curtis Youth. But on the air at KUSF, he did a Friday night jazz show and called himself Miles Mallow. Do you remember Miles Mallow?
Yeah.
Daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, baby.
I think that was also the name of a writer from the Beat Generation.
Yeah, probably could have been. And I had told Kate on several occasions, you need to take this guy and you need to put him on the air every night after Bobby Dale. Give him the it's Bobby on till 10, right? So give him the 10 to midnight or 10 to 1 or something like that. And I thought he would have blew the city away. I thought just one of the most talented guys. But, of course, they buried him on Sunday morning just before me. Now, I could understand my being buried on Sunday morning, but this guy was a talent, man. I mean, this guy, he had mixed metaphors, and he knew how to, and he knew his music, and he.
What became of him?
Well, I don't know. I hadn't seen him. Haven't seen him in 25 years. And so, how do you find a music person that you haven't seen in 25 years? What would be the best way?
Selling CDs uh, at the record store.
Oh yeah, but that ain't happening
You
anymore.
got to hang out at the buying counter.
Yeah, that ain't happening anymore. So I started looking around at all the venues in San Francisco. And lo and behold, last week, in the most unlikely of venues that I would have looked at, I started asking people too. Hey, anybody, anybody remember? Everybody remembers Miles Malone. That's of a certain age,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody knew where he was. And then I just happened to come across the old first concerts. Remember that church that was on like Mason and what's the one heading down? O'Farrell? So it's like down from the music hall, headed downtown, the Great American Music Hall. And sure
What was
enough,
they doing there? What was they doing there?
Curtis Youth is the house manager.
Wow.
So I sent him an email. I haven't heard anything back yet from him. Maybe he just wants to stay,
Below the
anonymous or
radar.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to be a hell of a nice guy, man. One of the nicest guys. I mean, we used to have these great long conversations on Sunday morning. I'd actually come in like an hour early on Sunday morning just to sit and talk to him and, talk to him about a minute. Boy, what's going on with. So I just got, speaking about KKCY, I just got 4 texts in a row from Ronnie Brand.
Wow.
I'm going to actually text her back and say, if you're near a computer, jump on and watch our show.
Where is Ronnie?
In LA. So let me just do this real quick. Ronnie Brand used to be our sales manager at the aforementioned KKCY in San Francisco. And
A station that was fated for many reasons. There were a lot of natural hurdles put in the way of that station and its success. And it's a pity that something that was so well designed to succeed in a specific spot didn't have the fortune to succeed in any of the areas that we were trying to dominate in. It was funny that the powers that be and the fates that would surround that station were all aligned to ensure that it did not succeed. And Ivan Breaker does not come out looking good as a result of the decisions, financial and otherwise, that he made.
it was a shame because that format and what we did there in the short time that we were allowed to do it was um, a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last. Now, you could always say that, yeah, it was they screwed it up and they didn't spend enough money. People didn't want to spend enough money. We didn't have. I mean, we had a good sales force. We had good people. The sad thing about that station was that everybody who bought radio listened to the station, but we just could never get them off the dime to buy the station. And, on a day like today, if we were alive today, you could set up a GoFundMe or a Patreon, and let everybody slip in $5 a month or $10 a month and do a subscription, and you'd be rolling in dough.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
But it was too ahead of its time. But I'll always be grateful because it was my first commercial radio job. No, I never thought anybody would let me on the air. And Kate and Tom said, "Put him on the air." What's wrong with Vinnie being on the air? He's a personality. Put him on the air. Albeit at 4 o'clock on Sunday morning. But I also did the stuff with you and stuff with Damien before that. And so it gave me a chance where I might not have been able to develop anything anywhere else. It gave me a chance to develop the New York Vinnie bit, certainly.
Right.
And so I'll forever be grateful. You were lucky. You were an established professional. You were you were well on your way. And I just wish they wouldn't have pulled the plug on it like they did.
They did.
And sold it to Gabbert, James Gabbert, who owned 20, who tried to bastardize it. And in bastardize it, he gave some people a job. He had who he liked and he had who he didn't like. And he owned the station, so he was going to hire who he liked, Billy Kiernan and Bobby Dale. And I forget who else Tony Kilbert, TK. What was his thing? When he'd go away for commercials, he would say something. He would have he would have something he would say when he'd go away for commercials. So anyway, so let me see if there's anything here. All right, I'll make you feel old.
How?
Just what you wanted me to do, right? Leslie Blevin's son graduated UCLA last year.
Wow. What did he major in, I wonder?
I don't know. I'll have to get back to her. And yeah, I will
Did you pick up that news from Ronnie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ronnie and I have stayed in touch all through.
She's your sales manager.
Yeah, she was. We had our battles, but we stayed in touch and remained friends. Which I give her a lot of credit because I flipped her a lot of shit. because I did not want to be selling radio, but it was the only way I could get in. And the only way she could keep me was to give me the music accounts. So at least it was something interesting because I couldn't, although I will always say that my greatest achievement
Yes.
at KKCY was not getting on the air, but was signing Latch, So, and Lee to a year contract to advertise on the station.
Latch, So, and Lee.
Latch, So, and Lee.
And were they exterminators? What was theirs?
They were chiropractors.
Ah.
Remember, they were right next door to us. They're in the same building.
Did you use Twist and Shout for the music in the commercials?
I used Andy Lee used to put together some interesting commercials for Latch, So, and Lee. Have you been in a car accident? Well, then you need to see Latch, So, and Lee. Oh, and they had this marketing guy that we used to call him Lurch because he was just tall, and he was, but you know what? Oh, her, and who was the other client I signed up? The other chiropractor, the redhead.
Competitive chiropractors?
Yeah, competitive chiropractors going on.
Wow. Somehow I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, we had Dr. Trish Donnelly.
That sounds familiar.
Dr. Trish. And she was, no, actually, you know what? She was not my client. She was, remember Pam Skidmore?
No.
Little small saleswoman. And she was Dr. Trish's. She found Dr. Trish. But I had good stuff. I mean, I had BGP, and I had I had all the venues, all the record companies, and those were the best. Because the one thing about KKCY is that if a station wanted to get an air, wanted to get a record on the air,
It was on the air.
Yeah. Bring it in. Do a $2,000 advertising buy or $900 or whatever it was. And you were on the air. It was perfect. And yeah. But it was a lot of fun. It didn't end fun.
No, it ended ugly.
Yeah, it ended ugly, but it was for a long time. When you went around San Francisco and you told people that you worked at the city, and they figured out that it wasn't not the city that you worked for, but the radio station, the city. Remember we had the softball team too?
Mm-hmm.
I still have my city softball shirt.
I don't think I do.
I gave my city sweatshirt to JD, my friend JD. He actually wore his first one out, so I gave him another one. I gave him the other one I had. So, what's up?
Well,
now that we've reminisced for 20 minutes.
The woman in media who's going to reminisce about this weekend in future days will be Kristen Welker of NBC News and Meet the Press. She got herself a little bit of notoriety as she tangled with the truthiness of Donald Trump on an ongoing basis. He can't help but lie. If he's talking, he's lying. And that was the case when he faced her for his episode of Meet the Press. He met the press. And the press did not like his answers. And he lost his composure. It's fascinating to watch him crumble and deteriorate in front of our eyes, but there it is, especially on a weekend that went so poorly for him. Netanyahu wouldn't play nice. Kristen Welker wouldn't play nice. NBC called him on his lies and his bullshit. And it went bad in every neighborhood that he visited, whether it was the Israeli reaction to aggressiveness in northern Lebanon, or whether it was questions that he refused to answer truthfully on Meet the Press. He met resistance and a downer everywhere he went.
Well, he can't answer questions truthfully.
He can't make a truthful statement just to get the ball rolling. And to make things worse, he wanted to see the Knicks play Game 3, so he screwed up the watch party for everybody.
Yeah, that's the.
And he probably won't go now that they've got the security settled. They'll probably come up with something else. I can't go. I got things to do.
Yeah, that's the shame of it all when it really comes down to it. Is that he yeah, he's just it's it put a damper on what should be a joyous time for New York City. I mean, and he could have done it. He could have figured out a way to do it if he did not have to be Donald Trump. He could have found a way to get to that party and do something.
Not without he had to open his big trap and make a deal out of it. He could have snuck in the back way.
Going and enjoying it like a human being would.
He doesn't care about basketball.
No, he doesn't care about basketball. I don't know what he cares about, to tell you the truth. But I think I know that New York is set to explode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pent up love for the Knicks.
53 years worth.
Yeah, well, and longer than that. I mean, that's a people can talk about how the Knicks are, or how the Nets have moved to Brooklyn and moved in from Jersey and this and that, and how they've had better players and this and that. But there's no love basketball-wise for any team in New York City except the Knicks. It's just it's
tradition.
It's tradition. It's they play in the greatest arena in the world. You can say what you want about Madison Square Garden. It's not as nice as the other ones. It doesn't have the plush seating as the other ones. But that doesn't matter. It's like the Palestra.
It's the place.
It's the place. It's the home of basketball.
The Knickerbockers.
You've been there. I've been there. We've all seen what it means, and they've come close a couple of times. But they just seem to have a team this time that, and I'm not going to sit here and say I followed them all year or anything like that. I've become I've backed away from basketball for the most part. But this isn't about basketball. You see, this is something different than just basketball. And then some of the things that happen when with sports teams, this is things that we've been speaking about for years, is that the the, the pride that it
Yes.
brings to a city goes far beyond how 10 guys play on the court, how 5 guys play on the court, how 9 guys play out in the field. We have so many things in our lives these days that have just gone to crap. Prices are high. New York City's a tough place to live.
And
But
they haven't had a happy story to tell for a long time.
you know, had a happy story to tell. But yet, this puts something between. This puts something cool between New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving. You know, it's like a holiday. I mean, every bar in the city of New York will be having a watch party.
Oh yeah.
Every you know, there'll probably be people, I don't know how they'll do it, but I'm sure they'll do it. There'll be people with bed sheets out in parks with projector television sets. You know, it'll be coming from radios because you don't have, even though there are net fans, you don't have the hate between the Knicks and the Nets that you do like between the Yankees and the Mets.
Right.
The Knicks don't feel for, like it's a like they're the big brother, like they're the dominant sport. They're just the Knicks, man. They're just there. And a rite of passage in sports is not to go to a Nets game, even though now they play in Brooklyn. You know, the biggest thing about the Nets is that they play in Brooklyn. They brought sports back to Brooklyn. But the Knicks are Broadway.
Yeah.
The Knicks are Dave DeBuscher, and the Knicks are Wilt. Walt, and the Knicks are a team that when you went to school, you wanted to, especially when I was in junior high school, it was 1969. It was the last time that they were really good. 69, 73, that period.
Patrick Ewing.
Well, pre-Patrick Ewing. And they were just, everybody followed them. It was basketball. Everybody played basketball in school. It was like softball. Everybody played softball in school. Everybody played baseball in school. Well, everybody played. See, that's the one thing, Michael, that you could never. And why football, while it's caught on in years because they've pumped it up and everything, everybody didn't play football when I was a kid. Now, okay, I'm 70 now, so it's different. My nephews, who are 10 and 12, they play football. But we didn't really have big football. You went out to Shea Stadium, you watched the Jets play. It was freaking cold. Who wanted to play in the cold? So, it'll be um, it'll be interesting to watch the city go wild. It'll if they pull it off, if they win.
And to win, they got to beat Wimby and his boys.
Well, it doesn't seem like they've shown up yet, have they?
Not enough to make a difference. But he's a dynamic player and fun to watch. And he will block your shot. Speaking of teams coming through, the Giants were on TV last night playing the Cubs on NBC. And they won 2-1, but it was the way they won. They scored 1 run in the first inning and 1 run in the 10th inning, and that was it.
Well, you only need one more than the other guy, right?
That's what apparently the rules are just that way, Vinnie. That's exactly how it played out. 2-1 made the difference, and the guys with the 1 run lost. The guys with 2 runs won, and that's something that you should always remember. If we have more runs, we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that we all have to keep in mind, Michael. That you have to score 1 more, and 1 more gets you the prize.
I was very proud of my grandson, Bo, this weekend because he played 3 games. It's incredible how much these kids play over the weekend. And he just turned 7. So he hit the ball, got himself a triple, contributed to the offense of the team, played fabulous at first base. He has the ability now at 7 years old to control his ability to catch the ball. And that has turned out to be a complete game changer for him and his team. Because in playing at first base, you're throwing the ball half the time. These kids are playing a position that requires a lot of catching and precision, and they don't have it. And Bo's come through with extraordinary talent and reliability at first base. If you're throwing the ball over there, the infielders get it as close as they can, but his ability to catch the ball and to control the ball at first base has changed the game entirely for him. Remarkable to see him grow so quickly.
Well, it makes it fun, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, after the game is over, do you take him out to a AI McDonald's for a little snack?
They do have snacks on the field and snacks later, depending on what time it is and how much baseball they have the next day. You'll have 2 games on Saturday, then you'll come back and you might have 2 more games on Sunday. The kids play.
Where do the kids go after games? I mean, we used to go to let's see, John's Pizzeria. Sometimes we didn't have Pizza Hut or anything like that. When we used to play softball up in Healdsburg, we used to go to Pizza Hut. But what's the or we had the hot dog guy, and he used to be a favorite because he would park outside Boulevard Field, and we would go out and grab a couple of hot dogs.
There you go. Well, they go to restaurants that are themed for kids that have that kind of menu. They don't. There's no shortage of celebration.
No more Chuck E. Cheese's, huh?
No, afraid not. Afraid not. I don't think I ever went to a Chuck E. Cheese. I managed to avoid that through Kailani's childhood. Don't know how.
Went to Chuck E. Cheese's, and purely one of my favorite clips of all time. I think John Oliver shows it sometimes. The cops come in and arrest Chucky.
It was coming. You knew it was coming.
In front of the kids and everything. These cops just walk in and they slap the cuffs on Chucky. And there's some kid just screaming, Mommy, Mommy, they're arresting Chucky.
Yes, dear, they have. We were lucky to get our pizza before it all came down.
Oh, my God. That was, I'm trying to think, wasn't that a Bay Area bunch of people? Chuck E. Cheese's?
Well, somehow I never became an authority on the Chuck E. Cheese nomenclature and tradition.
Anyway,
the culture of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it was soccer games and the league, and then afterwards, Chuck E. Cheese's.
Pizza, like winning, solves a lot of problems.
Yep. It makes losing bearable. There's something about that tomato sauce all over the jersey. It just makes him look
moms
good.
always have to get those uniforms clean by the next game. Don't forget.
Now, how long does the season last?
Well, it goes a regular season followed by an all-star season. And that's where we are now. We're in the all-star season where the best teams from various leagues play each other. And the style of play is sharper, and the players are the kids that have advanced and deserve recognition. So they play on as part of an all-star team.
Yeah.
And they play the kids that are the best from other leagues. So you're facing teams you don't know, and you're facing players that are like yourself, have been chosen because of their achievement during the regular season. And some of these kids are tiny little guys who have skill. Fascinating to see.
If you want a pair of tickets, courtside.
8 to 10. It's a flexible price.
Courtside tickets at Madison Square Garden for the row. You know, the Magic Row.
Right. Spike Lee's row.
Spike Lee's row. $2 million for a pair.
$2 million?
$2 million.
Well, that's it's a rather steep entry fee, wouldn't you say?
I'd say.
And how will you pay for that? Who walks around Madison Square Garden with $2 million in cash?
Yeah, with a scalper. You got a scalper standing outside. I got 2 front row. Right next to the Knicks bench. How much? $2 million.
4 for the pair.
Oh, God. $2 million according to ABC News. I don't think Mandami is going to have to pay for his tickets.
The mayor should have a drawing and award those tickets that are his to some kid in New York. Give him a chance to see basketball. Somebody who's been
Yeah, let him go stand on the side somewhere.
Yeah.
But let's see. The watch party outside the arena has been canceled. If you are going, arrive 2 hours early to get through security, and a no bag policy. So
You're not bringing in your Louis Vuitton assistance bag. You're not doing
Louis
that.
Vuitton. I'm not bringing in my hero sandwich from Chuck's sandwich shop on 23rd Street in Astoria. That's what I'm not bringing in. Why can't I bring in my damn sandwich from the sandwich shop in Astoria? All I want is a lousy prosciutto provolone, and with mustard on a nice seeded roll in the bag. I carry it in. Doesn't have a bomb in it. Maybe after I eat it, it might be a bit of a bomb, but
That's another matter.
that's a physiological manner. Why can't I go there, get my prosciutto provolone, capicola, and salami, put it on the nice hero sandwich, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato. Walk in with it, buy a Coke for what is it? Coke probably $10.
You'll be going for salted peanuts at the Madison Square Garden.
And you can't. And they said, don't stand outside the arena. The watch party has been canceled.
Don't stand around.
We don't want you standing around outside. Let's see. Who else is trying to see if I can see who else is going to be going to the. I guess Mamdani and Trump will be sitting together.
Really? That would certainly limit your ability to enjoy the game.
The mayor is paying his own way, but according to a spokesman, Joe Calvello, see, that's the kind of spokesman you need when you're the mayor of New York.
Right.
Hey, Joe, tell them what they want to know. A spokesman for Madison Square Garden referred questions about the president's ticket to the White House. So you know that cheap fuck ain't paying for nothing.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Later, he'll sue for that amount.
Yeah, if they lose. Secret Service does the arrangements for Trump. Mamdani gets protected by the police department. And the top U.S. Secret Service agent in New York, who is overseeing security for Trump's attendance at Game 3, said his agency will coordinate closely with the police department. Just out of curiosity, what do you think the top U.S. Secret Service agent in New York's name is?
Liv Sugarman?
Close. Matt McCool.
No. Agent McCool.
I mean,
what were the chances that he'd have a cool name?
Matt McCool. Garbage trucks will block off the streets to discourage people from driving to the garden.
Time's the game.
Oh. 7:30, I think. You know the interesting thing about the the Knicks is they're kind of an anti. You know, there was always these huge big stars on the Knicks teams, like larger than life figures. Now, again, I haven't followed basketball like I should, or like I ever since the Sonics. You know, but do you get that there's a lot of big stars on this team?
Well, the one that stands out is the shooter, number 11.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. But I don't get. It doesn't seem that there's that. And again, I'm not following. I wish we could take calls from New York because I'd love to know if these guys. It just seems to be a different team than you would expect out of New York. But yet, a team that is like New York. A lot of people who go out and do their job, you don't really know who they are, but yet they get the job done. I guess if they win, they'll obviously have some notoriety. Let's see. Uh,
Well, they did so well. The optimism is with this team because they started in San Antonio and took 2 games in a row. And just winning that first game increases your chance for victory, ultimate victory in the series, up to like 80%. You win the first game, and 80% of the time, you win the series. And that can't be discounted. Then you win 2 in a row on the road. Coming home is like a victory march already. But I'm telling you, watch out for San Antonio. They're a young team, but they're full of talent. And Wimby by himself is a force of nature, a physical force of nature. So don't get too confident. Maintain your control over the game and win game 3, and great things will happen.
well, I
And
think
I think emotionally, most fans are with the Knicks because it's been so long.
yeah,
It's like watching the Cubs win the World Series. When they're poised to do it, you can't root for the other team. You got to root for the Cubbies. You got to root for the Knicks.
I think that one of the things that interests me is that, among many things, but one of the things that interests me is that for the first time, well, this will be the first time that a president has sat and watched an NBA final. But it'll be odd for those of us who are NBA veterans who know the NBA. It'll be somewhat odd to see a president watching a game who has more felonies than all the players on the court together.
That's almost impossible to believe. But he's put together a great career of felony, and he has to own it.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying.
And the error of his ways has yet to be evened out with his career. He's skated so far. The Roy Cohn factor has kept him out of jail. I wonder if that will last.
Wow. Bob Packwood died.
Name from our past.
And name from really from the past 80s. An interesting guy too, in that he championed women's rights. I guess that must have got him. Shame. Yep, he was the Me Too movement way before the Me Too movement.
You know, we didn't have a show on Friday. Never figured out what you were driving, Vinny.
Oh,
Gesundheit. Gesund. Gesundheit ist besser als wegen Krankheit.
oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was sick. You know what? I didn't. I'm driving a Subaru um, Trail Seeker, and it's a. Let me see if I can quickly put put this together to show you, because it's really it's Subaru has an electric, but this is the first Subaru electric that mimics um, Subarus that go off road. The Outback and so on and so forth. So give me 1 second to
Bring the Subaru into view.
there we go. I'll show you how quickly I work. Creating movie, ta 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 ta. Okay, done. And back, back. Save video. Okay, put that there. Do this. Hit this. It's actually a really nice Subi. And I think that, this electric thing is going to go well for Subaru. Even though so many people are seem to be electric, seem to be kind of against electric cars these days. I think they're kind of stupid, because I think that with the price of gas, and I don't see that I don't know that the price of gas is going to go down uh,
Ever.
all that much. Oh, sorry. And all of a sudden, I got
Got a bug in the system.
yeah, I'm working out right now. What did I? Hang on a second. Um. Oh. Where is my? Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
You got it.
Sing, Michael.
Funny thing
Okay.
about baseball teams that start off in a disappointing fashion, like the Giants, my team, and the Mets, your team, is that when they start to turn it around and win games, they win them with the same guys that you hated for losing them. And it's tradition in San Francisco. They want to sacrifice a couple of humans, and if they can, there's the Subaru.
There we go. Yeah, they can. It's not pretty. This is all right. This week is this is what I'm driving this week, Michael. Believe it or not, it's really a stunning little electric car. This is the Subaru Trail Seeker. 375 horsepower. It is quick. 281 miles of range. Roomy is all hell. It has all the Subaru stuff that you would expect it to have. You start to think of all of the Subaru
The four-wheel
stuff,
drive.
stuff that you used to. The all-wheel drive, the high ground clearance, the X mode, dual mode system that so many people love. I mean, really, it has hill descent control, which again, if you're going off road and you're going to be bopping around the
Fire trails.
yeah, it's interesting, Michael. You get in a vehicle like this, and you go out in the country, and it is so quiet when you're driving it.
Mm.
If you're driving the Subaru, and the boxer motor in the Subaru, the gasoline engine, is a little noisy engine. It makes noise. So the little birdies and the little deeries and the little animals hear it, and they go, psh, 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 and they take off, right? But when you're driving the Trail Seeker, all you hear is
The silence of nature.
you hear nothing. You hear nothing. You hear nothing except your breathing. You hear your kids looking out the window and looking at that deer that's looking back at you. You see the kids looking out the window and saying, "Daddy, could you hit the gas? It seems that there's a large bear right over there on the other side of that stream, and I don't know if I want to stick around for that."
I think the rear end of this car is interesting. Look how wide that line where the lights are. It juts out from the major part of the body, and
Well, that's how they get the space to when you sit in this thing, you don't, it's not like you're pressed up against the door. A lot of these cars, um, newer cars, when you sit in them, that side is straight down the side. The uh, the vehicle is pressed in. With the Subaru and with the electric architecture, it gives you room to widen things out on the side because you're not sculpting every line for gas mileage.
and most designs do not emulate that theory that Subaru's taken advantage of. They don't go wide. They don't go wider.
Yeah, I think this is a real interesting car for Subaru. I hope that people are going to accept this, and they're going to look at this and they're going to say, you know what, this is a great little car. Um, again, if you get up into the country, and I have not had a chance to take it up in the country either today or tomorrow. I'm going to take it up on the all-wheel drive course that I have set.
Last week you were in Lake Chelan. This week it's burning up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's okay. I like it when it burns. But got 8.5 inches of ground clearance. As I said, you got the X mode, dual mode, which will set this up where it'll go through anything. If you want to go through snow, you want to go through ice, you want to go through. And another thing that I think is important about this car is, the batteries in these cars are heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have to go through ice, when you need traction in snow, this car's going to give it to you. This car won, I believe, going back and looking at it now, this car won our car of the year at the NWAPA, Northwest Automotive Press Association Mudfest. And I mean, we
Wow.
put this car through some, uphills, downhills, mud, water, this, that, the other thing. And it's shown. It started. The only thing that's interesting, well, not the only thing that's interesting, but the one thing I found interesting with it is it didn't feel to me like a Subaru inside.
Why
Because,
not?
the Subaru has that traditional kind of center stack, and there's a certain feeling you get in a Subaru when you get in it. And this has been modernized. This has the big screen. It has the, the little, the smaller video screen in front. And it just was a car that, that didn't feel like a Subaru until you drove it. And once you drove it, it felt like a Subaru. Once you put it through the mud, through the this and that and the other thing that you go through when you have a car like this, or if you're just driving the car. And one thing always to remember about the Subarus is, which is one thing I love about them. And I mean, I have my ex-wife in a Subaru. I years ago I put her in one because I believe it's one of the safest cars out there.
Yes, that's tradition and it's true.
And I think this car carries all of that. It's a nice job by Subaru. I'm really glad I got into it.
Don't know the answer to this, but isn't the Seattle area number one market for Subaru in the U.S.?
No, not anymore. I think Colorado is. I'd have to look.
That makes sense.
I think Colorado might be. Tesla is the number one car up here. Has been for years. And by the way, this car, 375 horsepower, 281 miles of range. You can go and buy one, $39,995. And if you have the different, trim levels, it'll obviously take it up. But right now, electric cars are a buy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking about buying a new car, electric cars are really something to look at. So yes, that's it, the Trail Seeker. And
thank you, Vinnie.
Yeah, thank you for sticking with me. I had to throw that together pretty quick. But yeah, go to your local Subaru dealer, sit in it, and see. I'd be interested if you do, if you're listening, and you go to your Subaru dealer and you sit in it. Let me know what you think. So I'll be interested in seeing
let's meet on Wednesday, shall we? We'll see what the Knicks pull off. We'll have a little more baseball to ding about. I'll have my Walter Brennan gravelly voice.
And I'll feel a lot better.
I hope so.
All right, man. I'll see you on Wednesday if the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise.
There you go, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. All right. Bye.